Yeah, the stage is yours.
Have you ever been in prison? Have you ever been locked in prison? I am not referring to a prison with bars. This prison does not have bars, nor walls, nor guards. It doesn't even have a lawyer who can help defend you. Neither does it have a judge who can set you free. And yet this prison is very dark. It's very crippling, and it curtails your freedom. Madam Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests, I am referring to the prison of the mind. A prison where all of us have been at some time in our life, a cold place of self-doubt. A prison where you are shackled because of your limiting beliefs in yourself and in the world around you. I certainly have been in this prison, a prison of crushed dreams, of unfulfilled goals, of defeated ambitions. It started so simply, just a thought, a word here, a phrase, and the memory lives on and on. I was 18 years old, back in the Philippines, and I had a dream. My dream was to see the world. I wanted to travel to London, Paris, Rome. I wanted to be a flight attendant for the Philippine Airlines. So on the day of the interview, I dressed sharply, put on my makeup, and answered the questions of the interviewer beautifully. But just as my dreams were full of hope, my whole world crumbled. I was told I could not be a flight attendant. Why? Why couldn't I be a flight attendant? Was I too short? Was I too fat? Was I too ugly? And this is where my mind began to play its dirty tricks. When I went home that night, I looked at myself in the mirror. And yes, I said, oh my gosh, yes, you are so fat. You are too short and you are too ugly. Short, fat, and ugly. So I became bitter. I became angry and full of hate for the Philippine Airlines. Let's move forward to 2025. I am now in Canada. Do I fly Philippine Airlines? Of course I do. I see the flight attendants running to give me a pillow, a blanket, more wine. They were catering to me. They were there to serve me. They were subservient to me. Do I envy them? No. They were prettier, they were taller, they were probably smarter than me. But I did not envy them. No. And that was the answer, and that was the evidence that I had walked out of my prison. So fellow Toastmasters, now you ask me, well, what did you do, Ruby? How did you escape from prison? A wise man, Nelson Mandela, answered it for me. He said, and I quote, as I walked out the door toward freedom, I knew that if I did not leave the anger, the hatred, and the bitterness, that I would still be in prison. So fellow Toastmasters, I just let it go. There were 3 things that I did. I threw away the negative, I threw away and changed my inner belief, and my outer belief changed. And the third one was, I let it go. So let me ask you, fellow Toastmasters, raise your hands if sometimes you have doubted yourself, afraid, felt you can, and then you say, I can't. The speech contest, for example, you probably said you wanted to participate, and then you said, what if I forget? What am I going to do? I want to, but then I can't. And then what do? You don't. Are you hanging on to negative emotions, things that stifle you? Maybe there were people who hurt you. There moments when you felt trapped, overwhelmed, discouraged. My journey isn't over. I have many lessons to learn, obstacles to overcome. If you can see my legs, they still shake. My voice still trembles. But I know that it is all in my mind. Fellow Toastmasters, 3 things I would like to share with you again. Throw away the negatives, change your inner beliefs, and your outer life will change. And let it go. Just like the movie Frozen. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let me ask you now, how many of you have ever been in prison? You can avoid that prison. You can escape that prison. Madam Contest Chair.